So, you guys like my shirt? Hashtag mom life. I actually got this shirt for my first Mother's Day, and I thought it was the cutest thing ever. And I decided to wear this shirt for this video because I thought it was the perfect fitting. Duh. So, first I want to talk about flying while pregnant. This topic. Well, for me, flying while pregnant, it really wasn't bad at first. It was kind of annoying. I think everything is annoying to me, but certain things, like me being so small, it was annoying at first because a lot of people would say, oh my gosh, I didn't even notice that you were pregnant. Really? Like, you didn't have to, like, I mentioned that I was pregnant, but you didn't have to come out of your mouth and say that you didn't notice I was pregnant. With someone being pregnant, and if you see that they're obviously in a good spirit about their pregnancy, don't ever mention that you don't notice that they're pregnant. Like, that's very offensive to a pregnant woman carrying a child and creating her life. Like, please keep in mind what you say. Think about the things you say before you say them. I got that a lot, and I also got passengers always trying to have me assist with their bags, and obviously didn't notice that I was pregnant either because I was so small. At the beginning, I really wasn't sick. I think I puked once on the airplane. Other than that, I didn't puke at all. I was just always nauseous not when flying. Nothing of my sickness while pregnant was because of flying. I think one time it was, but other than that, my first trimester, whenever I was nauseous and everything, it was all the time. It just wasn't because of flying. And then as I got bigger, going down the aisle and trying to squeeze through wasn't possible anymore. As a flight attendant, you know, whenever you're trying to squeeze through or go down the aisle, sometimes you turn sideways. That's just the thing, to try to fit down something. Even me being so small, there's times where I turn sideways. Well, sometimes when you're pregnant, you forget you have belly, and turning sideways definitely happened a couple times. And it also it's funny because I don't know what happened. I just forgot that I had a belly. Weird. I was actually based in LA when I first found out that I was pregnant. I live in North Carolina, and at the time I was actually trying to relocate my whole entire life to California. But when I found out I was pregnant, I was like, no, I don't have a whole bunch of support like I do at home. I just think the best decision is to go home and be where everyone else is, and that's just the smartest thing that I could have done. But I was based in LA. Anybody who was a flight attendant knows this thing called line chasing. Always chasing a line. So put my transfer in to go back to San Francisco, where I was originally based when I first got online, and I got to San Francisco and I was still on reserve. So I went my whole entire pregnancy on reserve, and that was kind of a struggle there. Me being across country and being on reserve was definitely a hard thing for me. I was down most of my pregnancy because of that, because I wasn't around family and people that loved me all the time. I had family where I was, but the amount of family that I had at home was just, I wanted that more. Originally, whenever I found out I was pregnant, I got the paperwork. I was originally supposed to go out at 26 weeks according to the company. I wanted to save as much money as possible before I went out, because I knew that I was planning on being out for the year that we are able to receive off with the company that I work for. And so I was going to work literally to the 26th week. If they would have told me at that time that I could work a little bit longer, I would have been like, okay, I'm waiting. Whenever I decided, the month before I decided to go out, I started to get more paperwork on how, like, for me to go out on maternity leave. And whenever I asked for that paperwork, they told me, hey, you know, you can fly a couple weeks longer if you like. Took that opportunity, make a little bit more money, and work the whole entire month instead of stopping in the middle of that month. So I saved up a good amount of money while pregnant, and I worked. If you can hear the sirens, sorry. I'm downtown and on my layover, and it's always sirens, sorry. But yeah, I saved up a good amount of money, and I worked up until my 7th month of pregnancy. I went as far as I could. It was a struggle because I was down. I wanted to be home, but I knew that I needed to save money to make sure that me and my baby were good. And then it was just I was ready to go. I was so ready. I was so over it. You know, when you get towards the end of pregnancy in general, like everything, you're just over. Now for maternity leave as a flight attendant, I am blessed with this job, and I love this job. I also love that the time that they give you to be on maternity leave. I got an opportunity to be out for 12 months after my baby was born. Like, what job does that? Like, not every job does that, and honestly not every airline does that from what I hear and understand. But I'm so excited that my company does that because I took full advantage of it, except, well, I was out for 10 months after he was born because mama got an apartment, mama got a car, mama got bills, so I had to bring in that income again. But those 10 months after he was born were amazing. I was able to make sure he got some education, and on my pace, not someone else's pace. Like in a daycare, they have a program of, oh, this is where a 1-year-old, a 6-month-old should be, a 1-year-old should be, a 2-year-old. Like, I don't care if my child should know his colors at 1.5. No, my child needs to know his colors at 6 months, and that's exactly what happened. I was able to, at 4 months, he was pointing out eyes, nose, mouth. 6 months, like I said, he was doing colors. He also was doing numbers, like 5.5. The colors and numbers was 5.5 to 6 months. And then he knows some animals now. He knows his ABCs. My child is smart, and I'm so excited that I was able to take so much time off because I could dedicate to him the time he needed to learn, and I could teach him the things that I wanted him to know. And yeah, so taking in full advantage of that year off is definitely something you would like to do if your company gives you that amount of time off, or even just take the full amount if you can. I mean, I know everybody can't, but save up, it'll help. Well, now I'm back at work. I actually just came back to work about 3 months ago. Whew. Let's say here, the first time mommy emotions are getting me. Actually, today is day 2 of me going to be away from home for 10 days. Emotions are running. I'm trying not to cry in this video, but this is, just bear with me, guys. Emotions are real. It's so hard, and it's hard. But sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do, because the benefits that this job brings for me and my child, the money that it brings, and the time. Shoot, I need mommy time, but this is a lot of time away. Like, having mommy time for 5 days is cool, but 10 days is like, I'm lost. I'm gonna be lost. I'm even like going crazy right now, day 2 of being away from him. I mean, luckily we have FaceTime and I can call him whenever I want, but it's just not the same. I just want to kiss my baby right now. One of the things that really bother me is that whenever I tell someone, yeah, I have a son. When I'm flying, for some reason, I guess because they don't see a ring on my finger, the first question they ask is, well, who watches your baby? That's so annoying to me because people act like my child doesn't have a father. My child's father is a great father, and he is involved in his son's life, and that's who watches him. So it's just annoying because just because I'm not married doesn't mean me being a single mom means I do everything by myself. That's just not the case. There's a thing called co-parenting, guys. Don't know if you know that exists or not, but it exists. So before you ask somebody questions, certain questions, kind of fill out what the situation is before you ask those questions, because it's really offensive when someone is not in the situation that you assume that they're in. But this month in general is like super hard for me because I got this 10 days away from home where I'm working. But then here comes Christmas. Mama's working and I worked the whole entire week of Christmas. So I was blessed enough to come back with a line. All that line chasing I was doing while I was pregnant transferred to Chicago, and I have a line. And I've had a hard line since I came back, and I'm hoping I don't lose it like anytime soon or never. Like, I don't ever want to lose it, but as a flight attendant, you know, when you're kind of junior, it's all up in the air and you don't know, things happen and you can go right back on reserve. But as of right now, I have a line, and that life has been a blessing having a child, because I get to trade and trade and advertise my trips, and someone else can pick them up. But this month it just wasn't working. It just wasn't. I tried. I even tried to trade it for something that'll equal my hours, because I still need hours, but there's certain days that I didn't really want to work, but at the same time I couldn't find anything to replace or trade it for, so I had to stick it out and do this. A mom as a flight attendant, it has its ups and downs. There's a lot of moms that tell me, that I fly with, that tell me, oh, the first one is going to be hard, girl, but once you have that second one, it's going to be a breeze and you're not even going to be all so emotional. First of all, let's pause there, because you don't know me. I'm a very emotional person, and especially over people that I really truly love, and obviously the child that I birthed, I'm going to love that child more than anything in the world. And I don't ever think it'll get easier. I don't care if it's the first child or the fifth child. Don't not having 5 children, but anyways, but yeah, it's not gonna get easier for me. I know it's not. Things don't get easier, but as a parent, depending on what in life brings, you know that you have to sacrifice some things, because like I said, money will be great. He'll be able to go anywhere in the world that he wants to go. I'm showing you the world, baby. I love this mom life. I love it. Like, I love it. But plan on not having a child, I just feel like you need to have a huge support system. I guess both ways it'll go. If you have a huge support system, it definitely helps. Like, my support system is so amazing. Whether it's his dad, my family, his dad's family, like, it's there. And if I didn't have any of them, I honestly could not do this. I would have to let this job go. And I don't know how I think there's people that do it with no support system, but I don't know how you do it without a support system, or a great support system that is willing to help at any given moment. And if you're a mom or looking to be a mom, being a flight attendant will not hurt your mom life. It actually probably make it a little bit more fun, because you get a little bit of mom time, but you also, on your off days, you're able to travel the world with your baby or your child. Like, I can't wait until he gets a little bit older so we can travel more places and actually have like fun. Guys, and make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. I do have a lot of content coming. I I have more than just flight attendant things planned out for my channel. So I want you guys to just be in the know, and I want you guys to know whenever I post something new. So subscribe, subscribe, subscribe. Love you guys. 1, 2